Hey guys, this is AI Gaming 1776, and I'm doing a follow-up video to a video I did last week that was titled something like Far Cry 4 Great Settings. It was like GTX 970 dash dash Far Cry 4 Great Settings. And I made a video last week and I was trying to show you guys how I've gotten some what I consider to be pretty good performance out of my GTX 970. But when I made that video, my how do I put this? The results were better than normal, and I mentioned that in the video, and I wrote that in the description box or info box. And the thing is, it was uncharacteristically better than normal. I had MS. You can see it down here if you look in the lower right portion of the screen right now under Anti Aliasing. I had MSAA4 on, and I was getting almost 60 frames per second fairly steady, like 50, 52, 54, 57. Like it was pretty good frame rate at 1920 by 1080p. And I told you guys when I made that video that that is not typical. And I've been playing the game since, and I've been trying to wait till I had time to show you guys what it more normally would perform like, because it was performing way better than normal that day. So I have changed a couple things since then. Well, actually, just one thing really. So I have motion blur off, textures ultra, shadow very high. I explained all of these choices in that last video. It's kind of a lengthy video. Post effects ultra, geometry ultra. Geometry was very high last time. I changed that to ultra. Vegetation high. I don't think you need ultra, to be honest with you. I don't think high looks bad, and I don't think ultra looks so good that it justifies any performance hit it might cause. Terrain ultra, terrain not that, terrain even on ultra is not awesome. It's good in a lot of spots, but then it's also not awesome in others. So I would go ultra on terrain, water on low. I explained that last time. I don't think low looks so terrible that I can't use it, and I don't think the other settings look so good that they're worth the frame rate hit. Environment high, explained that in the last video too. Ambient occlusion, HBAO plus. So the only thing that's changed since last, oh, by the way, we'll finish. God rays off, fur simulated. That's a totally personal preference. You can do whatever you want there. Although I've heard that that does kind of hit the frame rate a little bit. I don't know how much, but and then trees relief off. Anyway, so what's changed since the last video is geometry. And the reason is, I told you guys in that last video, more often than not, I have to play this game with no anti-aliasing. I have to have it off if I want a reliable play the game, do whatever I want in the game, jump off a cliff and start skydiving, anything I want, and it stay above 60 frames per second. If I want to play that way and have it play very smoothly, I usually have to have AA off. Well, I got spoiled when I made that video last week, because I got to play for like an hour or two with MSAA4 at near 60 frames per second, and it spoiled me, I'm not going to lie. So I changed geometry to ultra because I now realize I can run geometry on ultra with AA off and maintain 60 frames per second, and that helps a little bit for when I'm not using AA. Anyway, let me see. When I set the microphone up a minute ago, I was getting a pretty poor frame rate, so let's see if I still do. Make sure. I think everything is right. Let's go get into this. Oh wait, I have to turn the volume on. I got a copyright claim for that last video, believe it or not. And you know what that copyright claim was for? It was for the music and the settings in the settings screen. Even though I have music to off, there is that ambient music in the settings screen. So look, you see that 30 frames per second right off the bat. That is why I'm making this video, because I don't want you guys to watch that last video and think that you could run MSAA4 and get 60 frames per second on a GTX 970. By the way, the CPU is a Core i7 at stock speed. It's a 3.6 because it's OEM. It's not the 4790. I have a 4790. It's not the 4790K, which you could get off Amazon or Newegg or whatever. That thing starts off at a 4.0 clock speed, where this has a 3.6. You see that? It just chugged. It's going 30 frames per second. This is normal. Okay, this is how the game would normally play. Now I could turn geometry down and see if that affects it any. I better go fast before the music kicks in too much. Geometry. Alright. No, still 30 frames per second. And the thing is, it's choppy. It's choppy. It's, people always talk about what's playable, and they say, oh, 30 frames per second is playable. I don't know if I agree with that. Because I feel the game hitching and chugging, and it doesn't feel playable. Like, I'm trying to move the camera, and it's hitching. And yeah, it's above 30 frames per second. See, I'm above 30 frames per second. Even just now, I walked backwards. I felt the game hitching. And I'm not saying that to be a crybaby or to complain or be like PC Master Race. I prefer to say Master Species. I'm not saying it for any of those reasons. I'm saying it to let you guys know what to expect. I mean, it does not feel good to play it this way. Yeah, even as I'm walking straight, I feel it chugging. See how we just went down to 30? It was like at 42, and it like scrolled down. Now it just scrolled up. Now it scrolled down. Now it's scrolling up. It's all up in the upper left-hand corner. By the way, I have Fraps in the upper left-hand corner. I have MSI Afterburner in the upper right-hand corner. Fraps is only doing the frame rate. I did that because I want to save you guys some confusion. Because you notice, like, when you're watching these videos and you're trying to see, that just hitched all over the place. Let me see if I want to. I guess I'll go to that bell tower while I'm talking. So, you ever notice you're watching a video and somebody's got Afterburner or some monitoring software going, but see all those green numbers and letters up there in the upper right hand corner? Like, trying to pick the frame rate out of all that tiny font, I don't know. I don't find it to be very easy, especially on YouTube when you have artifacting and if you don't have a good connection. Look, we just went down to 29 frames per second. And the game's hitching like crazy. I move the camera a lot when I play it. I'm all about situational awareness. Here, let me get away from that tower because it's noisy with that PA system. Now, I know you can change field of view, but hold on, let me kill this guy. This tiger. Yeah, that hitched all up. It feels terrible, guys. Like, it feels gross. It's like chug, 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 chug. Alright. So, anyway, look, I don't do field of view. Like, I don't change it. I know I can. I know I'm on PC. I also play games on console. I have this game on Xbox One. And you can't change field of view to my knowledge on console games, not very often anyway. And I don't want to have to, like, retrain my muscle memory when I go back and forth. Because I have friends across the country that don't have computers, but they do have Xbox Ones. And when I play with them, I don't want to be discombobulated. I want to, like, stick with the field of view. So I move the camera a lot. And I can, if I'm moving and I'm moving the camera, I can feel it hitching. That, and if you do the field of view anyway, that just impacts frame rate anyhow anyway. So we're at 30 frames per second right now, MSA A4. This is what's typical. This is why I said that typically I don't get that 54 frames per second or whatever it was I was getting. And I'm making this video because, look, here's what happens. Let me get away from that PA because that PA is distracting. So what happens is you watch any YouTube video about graphics cards, and what do people normally tell you? Like, they get like a review unit. The crosshair turned red. There's something over there. So they get a review unit, okay? They get like a review GTX 970. They put it in a test bed, and they use it for an afternoon or a couple days or maybe a week, I don't know. But they use it for a little bit, and then they are trying to get their YouTube video out really fast. Now, most of these videos, and I've watched them, I don't want to call anyone out by name because I like these people and I like their channels, don't get me wrong. But what they're doing is that's not their real graphics card. I'm not going to call him out, but I'm going to use a name. Jay's 2 cents. I love Jay's 2 cents videos. But his real personal graphics card is 3 GTX 980s in an SLI configuration. I think he's got like a 6-core chip. Is it 6? How many core? Oh, an 8-core. He's got an 8-core chip and then it hyper threads to 16. All right? He has an 8-core processor He has 3 GTX 980s in SLI. So when that's not his. This is not his daily card. This is my daily card, the GTX 970, and I had a GTX 980 for almost a month. So I'm trying to share with you guys what it's like to live with these cards. Because when you pay $350 for a graphics card, or $600 for a graphics card, like I did for that 980, when you pay for these graphics cards and you live with them, you don't just put them in a test bench for an afternoon for 3 different games and make a video and never use them again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to let you guys know what is it like to live with this card. And what you're seeing right now, this is what it's like to live with this card. 30 frames per second with MSA A4. Now, what you can do, I've noticed, is you can put geometry on ultra. You can put ambient. Don't do that. Not that. You can put the Anti Aliasing on SMAA. And now, ooh, don't prove me wrong. Okay, and now look at that. 60 frames per second. Your geometry is on ultra. That actually helps out a little bit. Like, those rock textures do not look bad. There's kind of a soap opera effect right now. I've got a 60 frame per second monitor, like most people do. And I have the game running at 60 frames per second. So it's a little bit soap opera-y. I like how the light is hitting this gun right now. By the way, I think it looks like an M4, but it says it's a P416. So I'm going to Google that at some point. Anyway, if you have to have AA and you don't like Jaggies, this, to me, SMAA is a good way to go. It's not perfect. There is still a little bit of hitching. If you want no hitching at all, turn AA off. All right? And a lot of people, they say, yeah, they can live without it. And I live without it most of the time. All right? Now you can already see on my monitor, it's going to be different. Like, I am seeing the real 60 frames per second raw footage right now, whereas you guys are going to be seeing this on the internet at 30 frames per second and buffered and artifact and all that. But on my screen, that weapon is less shiny now. It was shinier with the SMAA. So look, I can move the camera, move. I hear an animal. Yeah, there he is. He's one of those leopards. This is not a very wonderful gun right here. I used it to be different. Just to use a different gun. But, yeah, it takes... I don't know. To me, it's not the best gun. Oh, yeah, and that's what that simulated fur looks like. Now, I just felt it hitch when I walked backwards. Oh, you're joking, right? You know what? Check this out. I am not going to play your games. Now, I was fine to leave you alone. I only killed the leopard because I knew he would come for me. Yeah, that's right. Back off. Yeah, look, I'm not a hippie or anything, but I don't play these games to just indiscriminately kill wildlife. But no, this looks good. You can see there's still all kinds of detail in this weapon with AA off. I think it looks good. The environment looks good. Everything looks nice. I've noticed with AA on, the dirt roads look a little bit better. But this is going to be... These are good settings. I showed you guys the settings. These are good settings. And then the game is going to pretty much have that perfect 60 frames per second feel. Let me turn VSync off and show you... there you are. Alright, look at that. Really? Wow, 64, huh? Wow, 56. There we go, 72. I was going to say this is normally in the 70s to the 90s when I turn VSync off. Here's the thing about PC gaming. Your experiences can vary for so many reasons. You know what I mean? There's like so many reasons your experiences can vary. But even on your same system that you play on every day. But it's usually in the 70s to the 90s with VSync off. Let's turn MSA A2 on. We're about to go up that tower. This is what we're about to do. And you guys can laugh at how bad I am at this. See, I'm trying MSA A2 to test my luck. Oh, I don't have VSync on. I hear some kind of animal. There he is. In your face, tiger. Alright, I am getting screen tearing now. So So let's turn VSync on. There we go. I'm trying not to stay in that menu. Alright, it just hitched. Like the screen just jumped a little bit. I'm constantly moving around, moving the camera. Oh yeah, I was going to snipe that guy earlier and then I didn't get around to it. Wow. Alright, if I can at least face my attacker. Well, that's not very nice. Wow, there's... How many of them are there? 2? 3? Alright. Okay. I better not die. I try not to... Oh. And we are keeping like 60 frames per second just about with MSAA2 on. And I prefer MSAA2 to SSA, if I'm honest. I prefer it. So if you can get MSAA2 to work, I mean, it's not bad. Well, I ruined that. There we go. Alright. See if we can get up here. Yeah, no, this is working. Yeah, I'm getting 60 frames per second right now with MSAA2. So here's the thing, I can almost always, with SMAA, get 60 frames per second or thereabouts. I can... where's this guy at? I can fairly often get 60 frames per second with MSAA2. Like 25% of the time. And, you know, there could be variables based on my CPU temperature, GPU temperature. I don't know, to be honest with you. See, I don't know why sometimes I can get 60 frames per second with this setting and sometimes I cannot. I don't really know. But I can almost always get 60 frames per second with the SMAA. TXAA I do not like. I haven't done this tower before. And I'm talking at the same time, so I apologize. Although, see, now this looks nice. Look at this. It's over here on the left. The cobblestone, it's okay, but like just the lighting on that wall looks very rich. I hear an eagle. Here I am trying to climb a bell tower, and then I hear the eagle, and alright, so I died. I died during this video. Okay, you guys want to see a trick? You guys want to see how I really take bell towers? Let me share with you an AI secret. All right. Don't see what I'm looking for over there. Let me share an AI secret with you guys. Oh, I showed this in the video before. Well, let me show you a couple things. There you go. Okay, one. Get yourself a garden. Endless opportunity in the garden right there. You pick those and you sell them and you come back and blah, blah, blah. See, this is very picturesque and things are flowing very nicely. 60 frames per second. Alright. Let's get in the buzzer. Alright, look at that. It's only hitching a little bit. That's pretty good for MSA too. So can you guess what we're going to do with this buzzer? I didn't necessarily have to do this, but I'm not going to lie. This is how I often do this. See, those textures aren't too bad from a distance. You can get a little bit closer, take a look. Now I lowered for a reason because of that kind of gray. Ooh. There we go. That kind of gray, to me, in this game looks better than some of the other grays they use. They use a lot of different grays. They use a lot of different greens, too, for that matter. This would have been a good time to talk about my preferences for the anti-aliasings, because we got a lot of flying to do. Not a lot, but enough that it would be like awkward silence, I guess. There's that bridge. When you first start the game, you take a buzzer over here, it won't let you go past that bridge. It kind of breaks the immersion a little bit. There's some spots you can't land in too, which also breaks the immersion. Because this game is actually, in my opinion, far more immersive than Far Cry 3 was. Like, Far Cry 3 is a very pretty game. I don't think it was a bad game by any means. I like it. But I think this game's a lot more immersive, especially like with the lore. Like, this kind of feels like a real place to a certain degree. And there's civilians out doing stuff while you're on the road, whereas in Far Cry 3, if I remember correctly, you were on the road. Oh, do I need my map? Yeah, in Far Cry 3, you were on the road, and then the pirates were on the road, and then your little buddies were on the road. Whoever your Golden Path equivalent was in Far Cry 3, they were on the road. But here you have civilians, like, hanging out. Although, you know what, there were some guys in Far Cry 3. Every now and then, there'd be some guy skinning a pig in the middle of the road, which this game has too. It's like almost the exact same thing. So, where is this thing? There we go. Wow, 1,000 meters. And we just went down to into the 40s on the frame rate. But when you're in the buzzer and the frame rate lowers, it's not that distracting. It's not too terrible. You know, I actually made a video to serve this very purpose, to show you guys what frame rates to really expect. I made one yesterday or the day before, and my microphone clipped all over the place. And I'm not sure why. So I changed some settings. I readjusted the pop filter. It was a more interesting video than this, I hate to tell you. I took an outpost in it, and like some neat things happened that I could explain and talk about. Whereas right now, I'm flying a buzzer like really far. But you know, there's a method to my madness. There's a rhyme and reason. Now, they put that tower up there. They put the bell tower up high, so that's going to cause problems. I'm going to have to like. It's probably high enough my engine's going to cut off. And if it is, I'm going to have to do a little bit of footwork to get in there. So you got to plan it. Alright, here we go. Oh, no, the engine's not going to shut off. I was expecting the engine to shut off. I was prepared for that. Come on, buddy. Come on. There you go. There we go. See that? That's why I ducked. I knew that was going to happen. Alright, so here we go. Pretty nice, huh? Pretty nice indeed. Oh, I have a new submachine gun, it looks like, available. So, 60 frames per second with MSA-A2, and here it's noisy up here. Let me go back to my wrong way. Let me go back to the homestead real quick. Don't worry, I'm not gonna fly again. I'm just gonna go back to the homestead. That way it's quieter. Because I don't know how loud the game is for you guys, but it's pretty loud for me. So, of course I got this headset on. Alright. So, ooh, you know what? I'll turn the headset down. Why didn't I think of that? Although I don't know if it's still loud for you guys, though. That was kind of the point. Alright, so, 60 frames per second with MSA-A2 on. Alright, 60 frames per second. I'm jumping, I'm moving, I'm running, like Forrest Gump. I'm running, and I'm jumping. And, you know, it's playing fine. And 25% of the time, it hitched. 25% of the time, MSA-A2 will play like this for me. But 75% of the time it will not. And here's the problem with Far Cry 4, because it's, you know, it's an open world game and it's streaming all this content in. It has to stream a lot in. Look at the way this engine works, okay? Like, you take a game like BioShock. BioShock is a very simple game. BioShock is a pretty game. I'm not going to hate on it. BioShock Infinite. Okay, let me clarify. BioShock Infinite. BioShock's good too, but BioShock Infinite is a pretty game, but it's a very restrictive game. There's all kinds of doors you cannot go in. There's all kinds of, I mean, there are in this game too, but there's just all kinds of stuff that's just window dressing. I would say BioShock Infinite is like a play. Okay? Far Cry 4 is like a movie. BioShock Infinite is like a play. And you can see a play, you can see Phantom of the Opera, or you can see Wicked, or you can see all you know, these technical masterpieces of plays. You can see them and they look very nice and they're very good and very pretty. But it's still just a stage and it's very obviously fake. Whereas with this game, everything renders it's very different. There's a lot more freedom. So anyway, look. Sorry. I meant to stay over here, but I was talking and I didn't want to make you guys watch me stand in one spot. See, this is individual pieces of clothing that they've placed over the fence. Alright? That's how do I explain this? It's basically like, you know those level creators where like some games let you create levels, and this is one of them. But that's like a real item in the game, like the pants and the shirts and then like the flowers. All these things are real items in the game that are strewn about. And the game has to render this very quickly. If I want to stand here, and if I had like the sensitivity on really high with my joystick and just spin around, the game has to keep... Now you can argue that this is cached or whatever because like I'm standing in the spot. But the game has to like make it smooth. Like I have to look over here and the pants have to be there. You know, like everything has to be there right when I look. There's a lot going on in this engine. So why do I say that? Why am I taking the time to point that out? Good question. The reason I'm telling you this is because 40 frames per second doesn't feel that good in that circumstance while the game is trying to create all of these things on the fly. If I had to guess, well, I don't know how the engine works well enough to make that guess. I was going to guess why it hitches so much even at 40, even at 48 frames per second. Sometimes even at 50 frames per second it hitches. And I almost think it doesn't want you to see when it's having to render something. I don't know. So it won't let you see and it skips. I don't know. And if anybody that worked on this game wants to comment in the comments below, I would actually be very flattered. And I would appreciate that. If someone wants to explain why this particular game... Because some games you can play, like you want 60 frames per second, but you can still play at 40. You can still play at 48 or whatever, and it feels fine. But this game, no. Like, you need 60 frames per second for this game to feel good. And it can, like, repeatedly dip into the mid-50s, and you're kind of okay. But if it keeps dipping into those 40s or low 50s, it's usually a problem. Not always, but usually a problem. Anyway, and so this is, like, I love this game. Every time I do one of these videos, it's like a love letter to this game. Because there's so, like, I got my little house, I can pick my plants, I can, whatever. But then I can just jump off this thing. BioShock doesn't let you do that. BioShock doesn't let you say, you know what? Screw this area that I'm in. I want to go wherever the hell I want to go. Have you guys ever noticed? Check this out. There's a zip line over here. Have you noticed this zip line? If I can get back to this house back here. I saw this zip line from AJ's house. I was up there at AJ's house and I saw that zip line and I was like, what's going on over here? And I came over here to check it out. And for whatever reason, I haven't finished the game yet. Maybe there's a story reason for it. There's a zip line here. I assume there might be a story reason for it, but yeah, there's a zip line there. Oh look, and there's some enemies. Can I get them? Ah, with the sweet takedown. And see, that's what I mean. Like, I can literally be up there and be like, screw it, I'm gonna jump down here and then do like a double takedown. It just hitched. The screen just hitched when I went right. But yeah, this video was a little bit long-winded and drawn out, and I apologize, and it wasn't as interesting as some of the other ones. I don't even know if I'm going to post this. I might try to make a better one. I had a great one in my opinion. If not great, really good, like B+, A- at least. One of my more favorite videos yet, and it had just so much clipping in the sound that I didn't even want to listen to it. Like, I couldn't make any excuse for it. I couldn't say watch this, it's still worth it, because it was really annoying. Anyway, the point of this video, and I could have made it a 5-minute video to show you, but I wanted to really show you. We've been running around with MSA A2 for a while. It looks good. Doesn't look bad to me. There's the water on low. It's not bad. It's not trash. I mean, look, I'll put it on Ultra right now. I'll put it on Ultra. I don't think Ultra is so good. And I say Ultra because if Ultra's not so good, why would I go to medium? You know, why would I go to high or very high or whatever else there is? See, it's hitching a lot, and it's going down to low 50s because Ultra water does affect it. Sometimes it makes it hitch harder than other times. All right, look. There's the water. I'm not wowed by this. This isn't like Watch Dogs where there's like a city and there's skyscrapers and lighting and all that interesting stuff to reflect off of it. I mean, and I could have picked a different spot, I suppose. But I don't think Ultra looks worth it to me. I just don't. So, but it's all personal preference, man. We have all these options. This is, whoa, did not mean to do that. We have all these options. Oh, man. Oh, see, whenever you go to a preset and then you go back to custom, your custom isn't there anymore. Look, ambient occlusion is off. AA is off. Fur is off. The motion blur, thankfully, is off. Textures Ultra, that stayed. How very strange. Oh, look. All right, looks like my settings are back. All right, let's go to my low water. That was the whole point. Look, that's low water. Is it worse than the Ultra? I don't know. Not noticeably so. I mean, I'm usually running around shooting stuff. So yeah, this is a long-winded video. Let me know in the comments if you guys think I should make 5-minute videos instead. I'm trying to be thorough. I try to show you my work. I don't try to say, hey, take my word for it, buddy. Here's a 5-minute video with some scenes that I hand-selected to prove a point. I just went on the northern part of the map. I went on the southern part of the map. I'm in the ugly, low-quality water right now. I don't know. I'm not around water. This is not Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3, that game had tons of water. And yeah, there's a lot of water in here, but again, I don't think Ultra looks that great. This fish is really, really chasing me. That's a very persistent fishy. Alright. But, I try. Oh, look at that. It just went down to 30. It just went down to 30. Look, 30, 29. Upper left-hand corner. Back up to 60. Back down to 30. See, this is what I tell you. I said 25% of the time MSA A2 works at 60 frames per second, and then 75% of the time it does not. And here we are. Here we are, 30 frames per second now. We were just at 60. I was just getting ready to end this video. And it's chugging. Like, I feel it. It does not feel nice. And if you guys know why it does this, let me know in the comments below. My CPU core temperatures were actually... Oh, hey, buddy. Alright, you get the grenade launcher. If this was... Oh, snap. Need a little bit of distance first. Come on, man. Y'all are just persistently trying to murder me. And there he is. That... Jeez. Yeah, none of this is working out, huh? And usually I could just... Oh, alright. You're gonna have to... Ooh, I have a shredder. Look at that. Look at that. Beast mode. Here's a heavy. There goes his helmet. Alright. Anyway, I was trying to have a conversation with y'all, and these dudes ran up. So we're at 30 frames per second. Now it went to the 40s. Now I went to chug it all over the place. Anyway, look, my core temperatures in the upper right-hand corner. MSI afterburners going. My core temperatures are in the 60s for CPU. My GPU temperature is up to 75, but I have it set to go up to 88, which I've noticed makes it throttle less. The max temperature, according to NVIDIA, you can see this thing is chugging. Even at 60 frames per second. It says it's at 60, it's chugging. Oh, that's another thing. That's another thing. When these guys do these graphics cards videos, what do they do? They tell you it gets 60. Well, it was getting 60 just now, and it was still chugging. So, what do you guys want me to do? You want me to make a YouTube video where I tell you the objective number, 60 frames per second it was just getting, yeah, but it was chugging. Now, you don't just want 60 frames per second because it's an arbitrary number. You want 60 frames per second because it feels good, right? Like, it's a more enjoyable playing experience. So, I was just at 60 with chug. So, when it's doing this, I usually just go off with the AA. I'm going to do SMAA, though. SMAA, that still feels sluggish. The turning feels sluggish. But, alright, this seems playable. I can feel it's choppy. It probably doesn't look bad to you guys. I can feel it's choppy. I have high standards, man. If y'all want to talk to a picky person when it comes to these things, talk to me, because I have high standards. I want my game to look good and feel good. Now, when I bump geometry up, that helped me have a little bit prettier experience. Wow, they are mauling that dude. Wow, you got those three animals there, plus the guy that they're chasing, the boar or whatever. They mauled that dude, then they ran off. Savage out here in Keyrat. Alright, so I'm picky though. I'm going to tell you like what feels good, what looks good. Oh look, there's a buzzer, which is the most random place for one. Anyway, I'm glad that happened. I'm glad it went down to 30 so I could show you guys. It stayed at 60 for a long time. It went down to 30. Hey. I'm just as savage as you are, so stay back. Alright. Anywho. See, there's civilians just chilling out over here. But I wanted to show you, like I played for a long time at 60. It went down to 30. So now we're on SMAA. Oh yeah, so I was telling you, NVIDIA says the max temperature for this card is 98 degrees. So I've got it set to 88, so it's less likely to throttle because the default for this is 73 or something. And notice how we're at 75 now. So it would be throttling right now. Alright, that's my assumption, because it normally won't let itself get up to 75, because I think 71, 72, 73. These guys are a little bit hard to get. Oh wow, he just stood there for me. I was trying to lead him. But yeah, wow, that guy just disappeared. There was a guy right there. I was about to snipe him and he disappeared. But yeah, I normally play without AA on. I'll do that real quick so you guys can see. It doesn't look bad. It's not the end of the world. AA off is not too shabby. And AA is solid. No matter what stupid thing my computer wants to do, AA is solid. So yeah, this is a 38-minute video and it wasn't supposed to be. And normally I try to take an outpost or something. If I'm going to make a longer video, I try to do something more engaging than flying a buzzer around like I did. I apologize for that. Or even like this right here, like I walked around in AJ's front yard. I'm doing this. But more than anything, I've been trying for several days now to make a video showing you guys the real performance, and then hopefully the sound levels are good on this. And but yeah, let me know what you want me to do. I can do 5-minute videos. I could take a video like this and chop it up, edit it down somehow. I could have taken the boring parts out, sped it up. I know that sounds good, but let me tell you the problem with that. What I am going to upload to YouTube is this raw video file. I'm going to upload the raw file that I record, so it is going to be the highest quality that I can offer you. Okay, now maybe somebody that's got like a better setup and they record in a different video format or whatever, they can give you higher quality than me. but the highest quality that I can give you. And I've seen my videos on YouTube. They don't look bad. I don't think they do. I put the raw video up. I had the sniper out because I was gonna take a look at the Sherpa. Ah, the outpost is under. Look, the outpost is under attack. I don't want to make you guys sit through all that though. Anyway, so if I try to edit the video, I can't give you the raw video. And when you edit a video, you end up having to, it affects the quality. Oh, look at this. Oh, come on, really? That dude just threw me under the bus. This gun is a little bit overpowered, although it runs out of bullets fast. Look at that. I'm not even aiming it. So yeah, I like to give you guys the highest quality possible. Ooh, it just chugged even on even with AA off. It just chugged a little bit. But yeah, I like to give you guys the highest quality I can, and that's why I put up the wrong video. But that means I can't edit the boring stuff out. But let me know. Let me know how you guys want me to do this in the future. I'll finish taking this outpost without you guys. But this has been AI Gaming 1776, and I hope that this has helped out. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Really? If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. If there's other products that you have questions about, or even other games that you have questions about, let me know, and I will try to look into that for you. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for watching, and y'all have an